Hey guys, Movie Junkie for Life here again, and this is going to be my review of Fist Fight. And this one is directed by Richie Keene, I think it's pronounced, and stars Ice Cube, Tracy Morgan, Charlie Day, and Jillian Bell. So this is a story of two teachers, and one of them, in a very cowardly act, gets the other one fired. And of course, the other one, he's a bit of a gruff, angry type of person. He tells him he's gonna fight him at the end of the school days because I think school is letting out for the summer or something like that. So we have Ice Cube and Charlie Day playing our two main characters. Let me get into what I liked. First of all, I think the choices here for the actors were pretty solid. I love Charlie Day. I happen to think he's hilarious. I think whatever he's in, he makes it a little bit funnier, a little bit better. Um, I also really like Ice Cube. I mean, I'm not a huge fan or anything, but it's not like I've ever really seen him do a movie where I was like, okay, he was the worst thing in the movie. And I think he fit this character quite well. Jillian Bell also cracks me up. I think her sense of humor, it's kind of weird. It's kind of crazy and very quirky and maybe not suited to everyone. But I think she's funny and I kind of like her and I think she suit the character here well as well. I think she suit her character here well. Now, overall, the cast choices from the principal come right back down. I think everybody was on point and everybody did the best with what they were given. But Fist Fight is not much of a movie. And I was kind of hoping for something more along the lines of 21 Jump Street, even 22 Jump Street, whatever. In terms of taking that raunchiness and that comedy factor over the top. I think a movie like this needs over the top to be really, really funny because the premise is so ridiculous. The idea of two teachers fighting it out after school, and it would have been nice if the comedy had just been jacked up a bit. While there are some funny moments, I think there was only one moment in this movie where I really laughed out loud, and it came all the way down at the end of the film. Otherwise, I just kind of watched this film. The runtime is not that long, so it's not like you're watching it and it's being tedious and you're wondering when is it going to be over. But at the same time, it never really failed. It failed, sorry, to never make me really, really laugh and enjoy it as a comedy that I thought it was gonna be. I thought based on the fact that this was Charlie Day and Ice Cube, because Ice Cube, I mean, this is the type of character he excels at, or he spends most of the film making these angry faces and grunting and growling. And he excels at this sort of thing. We saw it in 21 Jump Street. We've seen it even in his more serious roles. And he's proven that he can be funny when he has to be in films like Friday. So I was really disappointed that they didn't do more with him. He just came across as this one-dimensional type of bully character. They didn't even really give an explanation for why he was such a hard ass. He was just difficult for difficult's sake, And they give you all this background on Charlie Day. And of course, you're going to see his character evolve and maybe grow a backbone by the end of the film. But there's no real change. It's really slight to Ice Cube's character. There's no real character growth there. So again, I don't need all of that. I just needed this movie to be funnier than it was. I was really, really hoping for something along the lines of Jump Street or, the first Hangover. Take the comedy all the way. If you're gonna go raunchy, if you're gonna go ridiculous, you need to do it to 100. You can't go half-assed at it. You got to use your whole ass, right? And they didn't do that here. So unfortunately, Fist Fight is not a movie I would recommend going to theaters to see. This is something that you could watch on a weekend, maybe with friends. It might seem funnier. Usually if you watch these things with a group of people and a couple of beers, it's going to seem funnier. And I think how much you enjoy this movie may rely heavily on how much you like the cast involved. But other than that, Fist Fight is as generic as it gets. So I'm going to give it a 5 out of 10. Quite an average comedy. Unfortunately, it didn't really add anything. It's not going to be one of those comedies that you want to revisit. You're just going to watch it and forget it. And I thought this was a remake, but then I see some people are claiming that it's a ripoff of an old 80s movie called 3 O'Clock High. So maybe if you've seen that and you see this, you could say, yeah, they definitely ripped it off. I don't know, but based on just this film, I'm gonna give Fist Fight a 5 out of 10. And that's gonna be it for this, guys. So till next time, bye bye.